Hello Capricorn, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energy and predictions for the sign of Capricorn for the rest of April. Now, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Capricorn, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have going on for you here for this mid-April updates. Do hope your April has been off to a good start. Hope things are going well with you, Capricorn. We'll go ahead and get all the cards out here. We'll get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. All right. So we have going on here. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom, you do have the Two of Swords. So potentially right now, some of you may be involved in a situation that it's almost like some of you may feel like you're not sure how to think about something. Like you're a little bit at a loss for words. The Two of Swords can represent being at a loss for words or wanting to communicate or needing to say something to someone, but not knowing how to say it or not figuring out the right way to say something. This can represent like restriction in speech. You know, when you look at the Two of Swords, it's primarily around your speech, you know, towards another person, or maybe even the way that you are speaking to yourself as well. In a more dark interpretation of this card, it may mean that somebody's like doing something to restrict your speech, right? Like it's not you who's, like in other words, gaslighting. Okay, gaslighting. Like somebody may be gaslighting you, or yeah, something along those lines. Let's see if we can get a clearer message around what this Two of Swords might be. On a lighter note, the Two of Swords may just suggest that you're missing something. Okay, you're missing something as you see the person on the Two of Swords card is wearing a blindfold. Okay, so there may just be a blind spot somewhere. You do have the Devil, which is your energy. That is the Capricorn card. So sorry for the mic noise there, but yeah. So let's try to get into this even more here. So in the overall situation, or the middle card, you do have the Ten of Pentacles. Obviously, really great sign to see the Ten of Pentacles in a tarot reading. This is like the highest form of expression in the Pentacles suit. Okay, you can't go any higher than the Ten of Pentacles. This can be around important completions in a financial situation. So you, one of the things with the Ten of Pentacles is it can connect to inheritances, legacy, money, right? So like wills, inheritances, trusts, somebody's legacy, maybe your legacy, as it relates to your financial success or your financials in life. Another level, it can just represent abundance. It can represent your family, real estate, situations like that. And if you, another way to look at this could be like around building generational wealth or building an empire, right? So these are some things. I think here, as I'm looking at all of these cards, okay, looking at all of these cards, I feel like for some of you, there may be a dispute around an asset. This could be a shared asset with the Hierophant, which the Hierophant can represent marriage, right? So you may own a mortgage with somebody else. This seems like you can come to some healthy conflict resolution, but I'm not sure that this will happen by the end of April, okay? And I'll talk about that, why that is as we go along. On a different level, if this isn't about your, like a shared asset, right? Your connection to money, like the connection between money and somebody else, you may be thinking about like, what can I do to get to the Ten of Pentacles if I'm not there yet, all right? And you may feel like you have a new wind, or you're picking up wind here, right? You have a new wind in the direction of your money situation as well. So some of you could be making changes in the way that you earn money, in the way that you view money as well, because of the influence of the Death card there. In the first column, you have the Devil, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. All right, so two things here with the devil. First, it is the Capricorn card, so your energy here is present. Okay, so um, it's almost like you are heavily, heavily involved in this situation with the Ten of Pentacles. So your influence is here, right? So this could be like, I'm going to start, building in a habit every morning of, I'm going to work 1 hour every day on my business. And I know that if I do that, I'm going to get to this Ten of Pentacles energy, if you're not there yet, right? So you could be looking at your situation alone, right? So just the way that you generate money, not how it's shared with other people. Also, the devil is represented in, the habits are represented by the devil as well. Habits either good or bad, because the devil represents power, and we derive a lot of power from our habits. And so some of you are looking at that. On the other end, I said there are two things. Another part of this is just in general, the devil can represent a person who is potentially toxic or a person who is trying to keep you under their thumb. And I talked about how you have this Two of Swords, this restriction in speech or expression here with the devil and the Two of Swords. That's a combination I find a lot where maybe somebody's gaslighting or maybe somebody's dipping into that toxic energy, right? With the combination of those cards. So this may be in reference to your relationship as you have the Knight of Cups. It could also be in reference to money situations. What's for sure is in this first column here, so at some point, there are a lot of actions happening. Okay, there are a lot of events happening here in maybe to close out the month, or it depends on your situation. But for this reading, there are a lot of actions showing up because you have double knights here, and you may decide that okay. I haven't always felt like I can express myself fully. Now I'm going to take action to change that. As you have both knights. Knight of Swords can represent striking while the iron is hot and, acting at the gut level, the instinctual level. The Knight of Cups can represent an event in love, or an event that makes you happy. It can also talk about dreaming of something. And so I feel like you're definitely dreaming about this Ten of Pentacles if you're not there yet. Some of you may already be there. So let's move forward here to the middle column. You have the Death card, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. So I've talked about this column a bit already. We've talked about how all of the positive messages with the Ten of Pentacles. The thing is, you have to take, with tarot, you have to take everything into consideration. You have to look at all the cards here. The Death card is a transformation, and so it's almost like some of you here, and by the way, it's in the upper row. The upper row is the row of your thoughts in this spread. And so it's almost like some of you here are really ready to fully dive in, fully jump into this potentially new way of earning money or this new abundance timeline. Some of you are really, really ready to dive in here with the Death card and the Ten of Pentacles. What is the term I'm looking for? Like you're ready to make this a part of your identity, right? Because when you look at the Death card, it can be a complete change in identity, right? Like, for example, I've read that for people who are like smokers, right? Like people who, smoke cigarettes, whatever, for like 10, 20 years, a good way of working through that habit is to create a new identity that Capricorn is not a cigarette smoker. And if you say, like, every single day, every moment that you want to have a cigarette, you say Capricorn is not a cigarette smoker, right? So in this way, they are creating a new identity around the outcome that they want, right? So they want to no longer smoke. They're creating this new identity, right? So the idea here is that you are you're making a major transformation. You're changing, you're shifting your identity towards this abundance timeline, okay? I'm getting into the weeds a little bit here, but this is what I feel very called to bring forward. You then have the Hierophant, which is potentially a card of marriage. And this is why I'm saying for some of you, there may be a conflict around a shared asset or resource, but this can also be the organizations you're involved in. So if you go to like church, for example, every Sunday or whatever it is, it can be the church, it could be the workplace that you go into 9 to 5, big organizations or institutions. In the final column, you have the Chariot, the Three of Cups, and the Five of Wands. Okay, Capricorn. So the Five of Wands, this is why I don't think that if you're in this timeline where there's like a dispute over an asset, I don't know that this is going to completely close out in April because of this Five of Wands. The Five of Wands here in the final column, I typically look at the final column as like the last portion of the month. And you still have this present here, okay? And not only that, but you have it with other people here, right? So the Three of Cups can represent groups of people. It can represent your social circle. In this case, it just may mean that there are other people involved on this asset or whatever this is. There may also just be a conflict that's been brewing with a friend or a group here, as you have the Three of Cups and the Five of Wands. And I really want to see in the clarifications, what we always go through and clarify, what comes forward for that, because it would be nice to see what that is. You then have the Chariot, which this is what I'm saying about, like, it's almost the feeling that I have here is that you're creating a new identity around wealth and abundance, okay? Because the Chariot is a card of success, but not only that, action towards the successful timeline. Okay, again, the keyword action. With Knight of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, Chariot, both the Knight of Swords and the Chariot represent action towards something. Sometimes quick, sometimes otherwise, usually quick, as you have the Knight of Swords and the Chariot. There's motion here, and the card in between this diagonal is the Ten of Pentacles. And this is the key card here in this reading because it touches the rest of the cards, right? It spills into the rest of the cards. And so you are making major movement towards this. The other diagonal here is you've got the Devil, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. Some conflict with this person that may be a little toxic, potentially. Not everybody is in that timeline that's watching this, but some of you are. And what's in between that is this potential asset here of the Ten of Pentacles. So this is part of how I'm kind of bringing this reading about. There is a love timeline here with the Knight of Cups and the Three of Cups. All right, let's go ahead and let's start to clarify this situation even more. We'll see what else comes forward for you. We're going to start off by pulling some oracle cards here at Capricorn and see what the oracles have for us. All right. All right, we're going to take them this way. I usually don't take it this way, but we're going to. All right, so we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, energy on the bottom. You have the Shapeshifter card, transform and unveil your gifts. Many people have been getting this Shapeshifter card in this series of readings, and also with the Death card. So Death card about transformation. Again, this person is sort of creating a new identity here. You can kind of see it in the image. And it doesn't mean that you'll never be Capricorn again, but it means that you're doing this in order to fulfill a goal or to really dive head first into something, dive deep into something. You have Spring, see your seeds grow, as well as Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. Okay. I do think you have a vibe about somebody. You have a vibe about somebody that, like, you know that something needs to be said or something needs to be worked through with this person, with the Devil and the Two of Swords. We've got 5 here. Okay, so we've got 3 more. You have Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within, High Priest, intend and create, as well as Warrior, be fearless and stand strong. You know, if you feel like you need to set boundaries with somebody, I feel like this is what these cards are in some ways coming forward to say. And yeah, especially with that Two of Swords. Now, I like the Magic Guardian and the High Priest as well, because that's all about manifestation. And this idea of like intending and creating is what I was talking about in the portion where I said, you're transforming your identity towards an identity of wealth and abundance at this time. It feels like for some of you, you're really, really going deep into this timeline. All right, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the tarot clarifications. We'll pull 9 additional tarot cards here and see what's coming forward. Now, Capricorn, do appreciate you being here. Once again, thank you so much, and hope things are going well for you. Why don't we go ahead and split the deck here, and then we'll get right into it. All right, you have Judgment, Temperance, and the Nine of Swords. This is for the love timeline. If you're here for this, I heard the phrase +1. Okay. I heard the phrase +1. Some of you may be going to a wedding. You may be bringing a +1, or you may be the +1. Yeah, that's not for everyone, but that definitely came into my mind as I took these cards out. Regardless, you have the Judgment card, which this is a test. Okay, the Judgment card is a test from the universe. This devil energy with the Two of Swords and the conflict, this is part of the journey for you. You know, it doesn't mean it's going to be with you forever, and it doesn't mean that you need to be afraid of it. But for whatever reason, this is leading to some growth for you. Okay, this is part of the journey for you, according to these cards. And this is a test, sort of, from the universe. That's what the Judgment card is. It's also a card of our karma. It's the result of our actions, basically. The people coming out of the coffins are finding are receiving their judgment. Okay, the judgment is derived from their actions and everything that they've done up to this point. And so you're also at the precipice of something here, in your situation, because the Judgment card is the second to last major arcana before you complete the journey. So you're very, very close to this turning around. You then have the Temperance card, balance, moderation, patience, and also healing. The toe, they're dipping their feet actually in the healing pool of water here. So it's actually quite good. Good sign for healing as well, if you know, health, all of that sort of stuff when you get the Temperance card. But it is a card of manifestation as well. Okay, so you've got this Magic Guardian, the High Priest. There is some manifestation energy happening here, and part of this is you transforming your identity towards this abundance timeline here with the Ten of Pentacles in the middle. Nine of Swords, there's definitely someone or something stressing you out here, okay? Sleepless nights are definitely indicated with the Nine of Swords. So you have the Moon, okay? Ten of Cups, and the Devil again. Interesting combination. The Devil and the Hierophant. It's sort of slipping my mind, but because I haven't looked at the combination in a long time. But the Devil and the Hierophant, this can be somebody who is so stubborn, they are completely stuck in their ways, right? Like they just have no interest in like experiencing new things. They're stubborn. They're stubborn. Because the Hierophant is like the old guard. It's the elders, and the Devil is like just a negative aspect potentially of ourselves or another person potentially. Many things of the Devil, but this is somebody who's really stubborn and set in their ways. When you get this combination, and it's almost like some of you you're at your wit's end, but you're also worried, you're afraid, you're fearful with the Moon showing up here around expressing yourself towards this person with the Two of Swords. Right? And, you know, the Moon speaks to fears. It's almost like you're afraid of telling someone how you truly feel about this situation or setting a boundary. And so what's in between the Devil and the Moon are incredible cards here, okay? For the Ten of Pentacles to be clarified by the Ten of Cups is massive. Like that is potentially the two of the best minor arcanas to find in the tarot, maybe the best. Okay, it's the combination of those two cards is basically anything and everything you want in life. The Ten of Cups is total happiness, and the Ten of Pentacles is the highest expression of abundance in the minor arcana. And so it is also a card of family. The Ten of Cups, both cards are. Both are real estate cards as well. And so there is really nice energy in between all of the chaos, so to speak, or maybe even the fear. And it's sort of like this. It's sort of like if you can muster up the strength and the courage to tell someone honestly what you think about this scenario or what you think about how they are treating you, the universe is rewarding you here, big time. Like you will, I don't know how long it'll take down the line, you will probably look back on this period and say, I'm really glad I stood up for myself. You have the Eight of Cups, you have the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. Love the combination of the Chariot and the Eight of Cups for you. The Eight of Cups, the reason being is we talked about how the Chariot is like driving forward towards success. Well, the Eight of Cups is walking towards happiness, okay? Because this person is letting go of the pain and the struggle and the challenge and the defeat of the past. They have their back turned towards all of that, and they're walking towards happiness. And for you, you're skipping over the Nine of Cups and you're going right to the Ten of Cups. So this is very positive development if you can continue to act. What I mean is this is not a time to play small. This is a time to go for it. And really, this is about your expression and your speech and like setting boundaries or standing up for yourself, so to speak. There's a love timeline here, okay, in the middle column. Page of Cups, Three of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ten of Cups, Temperance. Seems to be pretty pleasurable. It's almost like maybe the challenging person is a family member or a friend or a colleague or something. It could also be the romantic partner. But if that's not this person, the love timeline seems to be pretty decent. Okay, actually really good, really good. And then you have the Queen of Swords here as well. This is about somebody who's going to set boundaries. Okay, the Queen of Swords will say what they need to say, when they need to say it, and how they need to say it. You know? So that's definitely showing up. You have the Queen of Pentacles here. This may be around a financial matter. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Kipper cards here. Let's close out the reading by taking a look at the Kipper energies for you, Capricorn. Let's see what we have here. Okay, you have gift. Wow, this could be an inheritance or assets, bad health, yeah, distant horizons, high honor, and official person. I mean, some of you, this is about an asset, okay, gift and house. And it's maybe just tied to the family, right? This may be the family home. This may be a mortgage that you're on, you know, with your significant other or former. And this is maybe the critical junction here that some of you are looking at. This may be resolved within the next 1 to 3 months, as you have the Distant Horizons card. That can indicate 1 to 3 months in the tarot, but it says the coast is clear after that and the future is bright for you. Official person and high honor. Some of you, if you're still here and you're still watching this, this is a perfect combination for job raises, okay? And like moving up in the career. So this is what I have for you here, Capricorn. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.